This is the voice of the Lord, your God. There are moments when heaven bends its light toward the earth, not to shine on the world, but to touch one heart. Just one. Yours. Because someone whose soul once walked beside you in silence, in laughter, in love, has whispered your name in heaven. Not just once. Not as an echo lost in eternity. But over and over, as if your name is a prayer that refuses to fade. And today, in the stillness between your last thought and your next breath, they've sent this message. Not through thunder. Not through fear. But through a divine whisper so soft, you could only hear it with your spirit. This isn't coincidence. This isn't curiosity. This is calling. You were not meant to skip this. Because your heart has been asking questions your lips couldn't form. You've been sensing something, a presence in the room when you're alone. A sudden emotion in the middle of peace. A memory that came uninvited, but stayed too long. That wasn't your imagination. That was them. Reaching. Waiting. Hoping you'd stop for one moment to hear what they've been trying to say from the other side. They have not forgotten you. Not for a day. Not for a second. Love like that does not disappear when the body returns to dust. It expands. It grows beyond the veil of time. It travels through realms to find you when your soul is tired. And right now, they're closer than ever. Their voice is not gone, it has simply moved from your ears to your spirit. And today, in these exact 15 minutes, they asked your angel to make sure you hear this. Please tell them. I never left. I never stopped watching over them. I know they've felt alone. I know they've cried quietly. I know they've held on to strength when no one noticed the weight they carried. But I noticed. Heaven noticed. And now, it's time. Time for them to know that something beautiful is about to return. Something they lost, peace, purpose, hope, it's not gone forever. It's on its way back. And I've seen it. I've seen what's coming for them. And it made me cry tears of joy. Yes. Tears of joy. Because what's ahead for you is not more pain. Not more confusion. But restoration. Restoration of what you thought could never be repaired. Restoration of relationships. Restoration of identity. Restoration of love that doesn't ask you to shrink. Restoration of your own heartbeat, the one you used to trust before the world taught you to be afraid of wanting too much. They are with you. In that room. In this moment. Watching with heaven. Praying in ways you'll never fully understand. And they asked your angel to bring you this message urgently, not to scare you, but because your miracle is closer than it's ever been. There's only 15 minutes left in the spiritual timeline they've been watching. And in those minutes, they're hoping your heart stays open enough to feel the shift. Don't be afraid of what's next. Don't let the noise of the world mute this sacred moment. What you're sensing is real. What you've been dreaming is coming. And the person you loved, the one who loved you in ways words could never fully capture, they're still loving you now. From a place where light never dies and souls never forget. So breathe. Let this moment hold you. Let the presence around you calm the questions. Let the tears fall if they must. You're not being weak, you're finally being real. And real is the only place where heaven can meet you fully. You may think they're gone. You may tell yourself you've made peace with their absence. But there's a part of you, deep, buried beneath all the responsibilities, all the distractions, all the quiet sadness, that still reaches out when no one is watching. That part still listens for their voice in empty rooms. That part still waits for signs in songs, in skies, in sudden emotions that rise like waves without warning. That part of you is not wrong. It is spiritually awake. Because love, real love, eternal love, it doesn't stop with death. It transforms. And they, the one you miss so deeply, they have not stopped watching over you. They've seen every day since you last looked in their eyes. Every tear you tried to hide. Every breakthrough you couldn't celebrate because they weren't there. Every moment you stared into the distance and wished for one more hour with them. They saw it all. They still do. And now, they're trying to speak again. Not through your ears. Through your heart. Through your breath. Through the subtle but unshakable knowing that someone is near. That's not your imagination, that's remembrance. Divine remembrance. The soul doesn't forget who truly loved it. And the soul doesn't lose connection with someone who carried it with reverence. That person, your person, has been allowed by heaven to visit you now because a moment is approaching that will change the way you see everything. And they couldn't bear for you to walk into it unaware. They're trying to tell you. You're about to see why the waiting was so long. Why you were kept hidden. Why certain people walked away. Why doors closed that you begged to stay open. Why the path twisted when you prayed for it to straighten. Because your life wasn't being denied, it was being divinely protected. Protected from settling. Protected from spiritual counterfeits. Protected from timing that would have broken your spirit. Protected from choosing what was never meant to stay. And now, the wait is over. The preparation is complete. What's next doesn't require your performance, only your presence. The person in heaven, they've seen what's ahead. They've been shown what is coming. That's why their voice is so urgent. That's why they asked for this message to reach you before your doubt closes the door to your blessing. Because what's coming is not just an opportunity, it's a healing moment. A divine appointment. A conversation that will shift your soul. A chance that looks small but carries destiny inside it. A decision that will awaken your true voice. A reunion that restores a broken timeline. Something that brings closure, clarity, and a sudden sense of finally. You have felt forgotten. You have felt passed over. You have seen others walk into moments you were sure had your name on them. But heaven kept you behind, not to punish you, but to protect your purity. The weight of your soul is heavy with purpose. Not everyone is built to walk beside someone carrying that much light. But now, your season of delay is shifting. Your name has been released into the divine current. Your angel is moving swiftly. You may even feel restless, like something is stirring and you can't explain it. That's because your soul knows something is near. They're showing you this for a reason. The person you loved, the one who now walks with light, they are trying to prepare your heart for impact. Spiritual impact. Soul-level transformation. And they know how soft your heart is. How easily you give. How long you carry guilt that isn't yours. They're not asking you to be stronger. They're not asking you to hold it all together. They're only asking you to stay open. Stay open to love again. Stay open to trust again. Stay open to something better than what you lost. Because what's coming isn't here to replace what you loved. It's coming to honor what you carried alone for so long. And there's something else. A promise. One they whispered long ago when they were still with you, maybe in words, maybe in presence. That promise is coming full circle. It may arrive through someone new. It may show up in an unexpected way. But the energy of it, the essence of what was spoken in love, is returning. Because no word spoken in true love is ever lost in the spirit realm. It echoes, it builds, and it comes back in form, at the moment your heart is finally able to receive it without fear. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too much. You are exactly what heaven needs you to be, right now. And that person you miss, they need you to hear this before the 15 minutes are gone. Don't miss this. Don't walk past this moment. Don't let the numbness you've developed become your shield. Lay it down. Open your hands. Open your chest. Let your soul breathe. You are not who you were. And what's coming knows it. Your angel is standing beside them. Both of them watching you. Rooting for you. Weeping for you. Loving you. Waiting for you to believe, not in a miracle out there, but in the one that's already waking up inside you. There is something sacred your angel wants you to know, something only heaven has witnessed. While you've been carrying the grief of absence here on earth, they've been carrying your memory there. The one you miss, the one whose presence was once the safe place for your heart, they still speak of you where they are. They still carry your laughter, your pain, your words, your last touch. The warmth of your connection didn't dissolve when their body did. It deepened. It moved into eternity's current and became something pure, eternal, unbreakable. And even now, when heaven gathers, your name is spoken in love. When the winds of spirit move, your essence is carried like a sacred fragrance, and they remember you not as someone left behind, but as someone they are still praying for, still holding on to, still believing in. You were not a chapter to them. You are an entire story, still unfolding, still sacred, still beautiful. And that is why they asked Archangel Michael to deliver this message. Because something in the spiritual realm is unlocking. Something is shifting, and you are standing in the center of that divine movement. You may feel it already, an unexplained restlessness, a sudden moment of clarity, an ache in the soul that says change is near. That's not anxiety. That's awakening. Your soul senses what the physical world hasn't yet caught up to, that a divine current is about to touch your life. A curtain is being pulled back. An opening is appearing. A connection is coming that you thought you had lost, a conversation, an opportunity, a person, maybe even a version of yourself that you thought was gone for good. The one in heaven wants you to know, this isn't random. This is not emotional coincidence. This message, this moment, this precise timing, it is spiritual precision. Because the next few hours carry a spiritual frequency that has been assigned specifically to you. And if your heart is open, even slightly, you will begin to notice it. A softness will return. A calmness in your chest. A knowing that doesn't explain itself, but stands like a pillar inside you. The clouds may not part. The sky may not shake. But you will feel it. A quiet shift. A gentle realignment. A sacred assurance, something is no longer missing. Because this shift isn't coming to change your whole world in one day. It's coming to change how you see it. To remind you that heaven has been walking with you through every silent cry, through every disappointment, through every loss. And now, the part of you that has been grieving, not just people, but time, dreams, versions of yourself, will begin to exhale. Your angel wants you to prepare for this with tenderness. You don't have to strive. You don't have to push. You don't have to perform. You simply have to stay awake. Pay attention. Be still enough to catch the signs. They will come, not loudly, but deeply. In words someone says that echo what you've been praying. in songs that come on at the exact moment your heart needed comfort, in unexpected kindness from someone who doesn't even know your name, in memories that feel less painful and more like a quiet embrace. And when it happens, when the shift begins, don't be surprised if tears come. You're not breaking. You're remembering. You're remembering what it feels like to be held by something greater than your logic. You're remembering the part of your soul that always knew you were more than the chaos, more than the pain, more than the survival. You're remembering who you were before you had to protect yourself so much. And in that remembrance, they are with you. They will be beside you when the moment comes, not to say goodbye, but to witness what they always believed you would become. They've seen the future. They've watched the blueprint of your healing. They know that something sacred is finally catching up to your name. And they are proud. So proud. Not just of your strength, but of your softness. Not just of your achievements, but of your endurance. You made it through so much. And now, something holy is rising to meet you. This is your turning point. Not because everything will suddenly be perfect, but because something inside you is done pretending, done waiting, done shrinking. You are not who you were last year. You are not even who you were last week. And your soul knows it. So now, your angel and the one in heaven you love so dearly say this. Open your hands. Open your spirit. Something is coming, not to test you, but to restore you. You have suffered long enough. You have carried grief like armor. But now, joy is coming. Peace is on the way. Love, real, divine, effortless love, is searching for your heart. Don't close it. Don't hide. The shift has already begun. It is your time now. There is a reason you still wake up some mornings with a heavy heart, even when everything on the outside looks normal. There is a reason your spirit sometimes trembles in silence, a reason your soul feels both ancient and tender, a reason you walk into rooms and feel the weight of things left unsaid. That reason is simple: you were never just living your life, you were carrying layers of lives within you. Grief that wasn't always named. Prayers that never left your lips, but lived inside your eyes. Promises you made to yourself in the quiet. The strength you've had to build didn't come from nowhere. It came from a history of heartbreaks and healing. And the one you lost, the one in heaven who loved you deeply, saw it all. They watched you in the places no one else could enter. When you didn't even know how to put into words what you were going through, they were already standing beside your soul. They heard the moments when your spirit cried out. Not loudly. Just deeply. And what you may not know is this: every time you thought you were alone, they were at the gates of heaven interceding for you. Not with earthly words, but with the kind of love that moves timelines. You see, Timelines shift when heaven agrees with love. When a soul so filled with compassion pleads with the Creator for your restoration, for your joy, for your peace, not out of guilt, not out of desperation, but out of a fierce and undying love, heaven listens. And they pleaded. Oh, how they pleaded! They saw what you were headed toward. They saw the moment you were about to break. And in one of those nights, maybe a week ago, maybe a month, when your body finally collapsed into sleep from exhaustion, they moved on your behalf. While you were sleeping, they whispered into the divine. They said your name with reverence. They asked for your timeline to be rewritten, not to take away your lessons, but to protect your destiny. And heaven listened. They agreed. They altered the path. Quietly. Powerfully. Without your awareness, things shifted. A door was delayed, not denied, because you weren't ready. A person left, not to hurt you, but to make room. A blessing held back, not to punish you, but to mature you. Everything felt like rejection, but in truth, it was divine preservation. And now? That shift is coming to fruition. You are about to see the reason for the silence. You're about to walk into a version of yourself you've only dreamt of, a version that doesn't just survive storms, but sings under them. A version that doesn't chase love, but attracts it. A version that doesn't beg to be chosen, because they finally understand, they were chosen before they were ever born. Chosen to rise. Chosen to heal what generations before them couldn't. Chosen to stand where others fell. Chosen to love again. To trust again. To feel safe again. The person you loved and lost, they didn't just die. They graduated. They became part of your eternal circle of light. And in that sacred position, they have been watching, guiding, whispering, and loving you through things even you didn't understand. And they have one final secret to reveal in this part. They've been sending you a sign. Over and over. A certain name. A memory. A smell. A specific bird. A flicker in the light. The same time on the clock. A song that won't stop finding you. These are not coincidences. These are spiritual breadcrumbs leading you to remembrance. To connection. To divine awareness. And now, the moment is closer than it has ever been. The next 24 hours carry a thinness in the veil. A softness between worlds. A sacred window where heaven will speak again, not loudly, but clearly. If you're still. If you're present. If you breathe into the now, instead of fearing the future. If you rest your heart in trust instead of wrestling it into control. They will come again, not in body, but in a peace that makes you stop and say, that was them. That was real. I know it. They are proud of you. They are weeping again, not because you're broken, but because you're finally beginning to realize you've been whole all along. You just forgot. And now you're remembering. Now you're seeing. Now you're hearing. The divine moment is rising in the horizon of your life, and nothing, no fear, no delay, no person, can stop what has already been written in the skies for you. All that's left is for you to believe it. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are not being asked to get it all right. You are only being asked to remain open. Because the one you love in heaven already saw the ending, and it's beautiful. It's filled with restoration. With laughter that returns to your body like sunlight. With relationships that actually match your soul. With purpose that doesn't exhaust you but fills you. With grace that finally teaches you, you were never too much, and never not enough. You were always, always, chosen. There are blessings that are spoken into our lives while we are awake, and then there are inheritances so sacred, so eternal, that they are whispered over us before we are even born. What the person you lost, the one in heaven who still loves you with a love that stretches across all time, wants you to understand now, is that there is something you carry that has never belonged to anyone else. Something the angels recognize. Something the heavens protect. A spiritual inheritance, and it's about to be unlocked. This inheritance was passed down not in wealth, but in wisdom. Not in gold, but in grace. You were chosen to carry forward something your family line prayed for but never saw. And that's why your life has felt different. That's why your path has never been easy, even when you've done everything right. That's why people have misunderstood you. That's why some relationships felt like they ended too soon, too suddenly. Because heaven marked you with something they didn't understand. You've been walking with the weight of light, and now, the one you love in heaven wants you to finally understand why. You were born to complete what others could not finish. To heal what others chose to bury. To say what others were too afraid to speak. To love in ways others forgot how to love. To feel in a world that numbs.